You know that feeling you get when you're watching a horror movie or playing a game and you think, wait a minute, this feels familiar. Like all these different stories are secretly dipping into the same really deep, dark well of fear? Well, today we're gonna pull back the curtain and find the person who dug that well.
I mean, it's a great question, isn't it? You feel it, you really do. Especially when you're watching a certain kind of sci-fi horror, or maybe playing a game that totally messes with your head. It's like there's this invisible thread connecting so many of them.
And here's the thing, the source of that connection, the guy who's basically the architect behind so much of what scares us today, he wasn't some famous director or a best-selling author back in his day. Nope. He was a total recluse from Providence, Rhode Island, and his real influence? Man, that wouldn't be felt until long, long after he was gone.
All right, let's dive right in. That man's name, H.P. Lovecraft. And what we're gonna do here is uncover just how his radical ideas completely changed the game for horror forever.
So what was so revolutionary about what he did? Well, he basically invented an entire genre we now call cosmic horror. See, before Lovecraft, horror was pretty straightforward, right? You had your ghosts, your vampires, monsters you could kind of wrap your head around. But Lovecraft's idea was something else entirely and way more terrifying. He said, what if the greatest horror isn't a monster that wants to eat you, but the simple, crushing discovery that humanity is just a meaningless accident in a universe so vast it doesn't even know we're here?
Okay, so to really get a grip on his impact, we've got to look at his core principles. And the very first one, it's all about turning our own imagination against us.
And this quote, honestly, this is the key to everything. His whole philosophy was that what you can't see, what your brain just can't process, is a million times scarier than any monster you could ever show on screen. The real horror show, it's the one playing inside your own head. And this is exactly how he put that idea into practice. It was his signature move. He almost never gave you a good, clear look at his monsters. Instead, he'd throw out these impossible, contradictory descriptions, like a gelatinous mass with 1,000 eyes, or shapes that just defied geometry. He was forcing your mind to do the heavy lifting, to try and picture the impossible. And of course, whatever you come up with is always going to be way scarier than what he could have just spelled out.
And I guarantee you have felt this exact thing. I mean, think about the sheer panic of the Blair Witch Project. Why is it so scary? Because you never ever see the witch. Or what about the creatures in A Quiet Place? They're terrifying because you mostly just hear them. And don't even get me started on video games like Silent Hill, which just perfected this. Using fog and darkness to make your own brain the real monster, that's 100% pure Lovecraft.
All right, so that's pillar number one. Let's move on to his next big idea, because it builds on this. In Lovecraft's world, chasing forbidden knowledge doesn't make you powerful. Oh no, it leads to absolute, total ruin.
Now this is where it gets really chilling. It's this idea of cosmic indifference. His godlike beings, the famous ones like Cthulhu, they're not evil like a movie villain. They're not out to get us. The terrifying truth is they don't care about us at all. We are ants on the sidewalk to them. And if they happen to step on us, it's not because they hate ants. It's because they didn't even notice we were there. That's true horror.
You see this idea everywhere once you look for it. A perfect example, the xenomorph in Alien. That thing isn't evil. It's just a perfect organism doing what it does. It doesn't hate Ripley, it's just existing. And the same goes for the deep, cold, empty space in a movie like Event Horizon. The void isn't trying to be evil, it's just hostile to human life by its very nature.
So, okay, let's say you do get a glimpse of one of these beings, or you see the true, uncaring face of the universe. What happens then? Well, according to Lovecraft, you don't become a hero. You don't fight back. Your mind just shatters. And that's not just a trope, it's a fundamental rule in his universe. Our brains are just not wired to understand that kind of truth. It would literally break them. And this idea of sanity breaking, man, it has had a massive influence, especially in video games. I mean, games like Eternal Darkness or the Call of Cthulhu series literally give you a sanity meter. As it goes down, the game itself starts messing with you. The screen glitches, the controls get weird, and of course you see it in movies like In the Mouth of Madness, which is basically a feature-length film about this exact concept, where reality just completely falls apart.
Okay, so let's put it all together. You've got fear of the unknown, you've got a universe that doesn't care about you, and you've got the fact that learning the truth will drive you insane. You mix all that up, and what do you get? you get a blueprint for modern horror that is spread absolutely everywhere. So, just how far does this influence reach? The short answer, pretty much everywhere. I mean, his DNA is just woven into the fabric of modern horror. In movies, you've got the unknowable alien in John Carpenter's The Thing, or pretty much anything by Guillermo del Toro with his love for ancient weird creatures. In books, you've got masters like Stephen King and Neil Gaiman who are huge fans and have openly said so. And video games, wow. Games like Bloodborne, Amnesia, Darkest Dungeon, they are basically built from the ground up on a Lovecraftian foundation. Which really brings us to the final big question here. Why? Why are these ideas, from a writer who died in obscurity almost 100 years ago, still so powerful today? Why do they still get under our skin?
I think the answer is because his horror is existential. It's not about a monster in the closet. It's about our tiny, tiny place in the cosmos. And think about it, in our modern world, where science keeps showing us just how unbelievably vast and strange the universe is, that fear of being insignificant, it's stronger than ever. Lovecraft gave a name to that nagging, deep-seated anxiety that our reality is just a fragile illusion with something truly alien right underneath.
And that, right there, is his real legacy. It wasn't just about creating some cool monsters with tentacles. It was a fundamental shift in what fear even means. He's the one who taught writers and directors and game designers that the most powerful horror isn't good versus evil. It's us versus the truth. It's our sanity versus the abyss. So, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. What piece of modern horror, a movie, a game, a book, whatever, do you think really gets it? What work truly captures that deep, soul-crushing Lovecraftian dread? Because his invisible legacy, it's all around us, hiding in the shadows. Now you just know how to look for it.